I'm going to say welcome back to Llandudno. 3 years since I was last here. Now you can see all this pebbles on the beach that people have been complaining about. I had hoped I might be able to catch the brightness of the sun on this lawn, which is what I wanted to do last time and never got a chance to do it. Now the weather forecast, we've arrived on a Saturday. The weather forecast for tomorrow and the rest of next week while we're here is not very good. So I've come out now, and I think, to be honest, that's as bright as I'm going to get with it lawn, which is rather sad, but you can see there's a certain amount of light shining on there. If I can get a brighter light later on, I will do. But it's not the easiest of things to do. For reasons which are obvious. Well done, madam. I think she did that just to spoil my video. But anyway, we're back here in Llandudno. At the Kensington Hotel again. Room is not too bad. It's a plain room, but functional. Oh, the sun's just come out again. If I turn round, can we get a look at the shades of light on the little lawn there? Maybe just a little bit too late. Yeah, you can see it's shining a bit bright, isn't it? I think that's the best I'm going to do, to be honest. And as you can see, we are back at the Kensington Hotel. There it is. All very good. And now we're about to go in for dinner. So hopefully, see, the sun's got a little bit further to go, I think. But there you are. There it is, shining on the little lawn. That's better, isn't it? I think that's the best I'm going to achieve. And with that, we're going into dinner. I don't know how well this is going to film through a dirty window, but here is the view from our room. As you can see, way up there into the mountains. Some of the further away ones are hidden. There is a view over there to Conway, because Llandudno sits on a promontory, so over there is the Conway estuary, and on the other side is the A55, the road which they literally carved through the bottom of the cliffs and round the corner looking towards Ynys. Now there is a bridge there. You see that? Which I'm very curious about. Oh, it's gone, sorry. And now we've lost it. Come on, come into focus. I think it's a railway bridge. But I haven't seen any trains yet. Anyway, that's the view from the room. As I say, it's not bad. Could be a lot better. We could be in one of the hotels further up. And what would you see from the back of your hotel? The houses along the other side of the little street behind it. So no complaints on that. And I suppose we would do the obligatory room tour. Television in the corner. It's a good quality television, no complaints there. The standard desk and chair and kettle and all the rest of it. But you can see how we're up in the rafters here. I can't say it's the best appointed of rooms we've had. I think in the Isle of Man we were very lucky. There's quite a modern toilet and shower room hidden behind that white door. But that's really about the size of it. I'm standing actually at the entrance door, so you can see there's room, it's functional, it's clean, it's tidy, the bed's comfy. Really, that's all you want, isn't it? Anything else is a bonus. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Llandudno. 3 years since I made my last series of videos about my trip to Wales. And as far as this road is concerned, not a lot has changed. My trouble is still Lynn's trouble, but we are in a different room. We are actually up there in the rafters, and I'm not sure which one ours is, but I'm pretty sure it's the one. If you look where it says Kensington Hotel, the left-hand one, it's immediately up the top to the left of that drain pipe that's going up. That's our room. Now, I can see that because the curtains are open. I don't want to zoom in too much on it, but we're up there in the rafters, and last night, boy, was that windy. Ooh. Anyway, let's take a little walk round and let's see what, if anything, has changed. Rain is forecast for today. Rain and strong winds. Well, we had that strong wind last night. Ex-Hurricane Nigel's supposed to be bringing all of this stuff, I think. However, was that wind the wind that we were expecting? Because it was really strong. And are we actually going to get the drenching that the forecast said we're going to get? I came out here expecting it to be quite cold this morning because it's the 24th of September. But it's actually quite mild. So, first of all, I'm going to go into this little shopping centre over here that you've seen before, and let's see what we can find over there. One thing I have noticed is that the roadworks have finished. You remember, with quite a lot of roadworks here, this road junction is now finished, which completes the one-way system around the area. So as we're looking, this is one way going out of town, and there's a couple of new buildings been finished down there. So here we are at this little shopping centre, and apologies for any camera shake. This is supposed to be an anti-shake camera. Trouble is, with my latest medications and all the rest of it, I'm maybe not quite as firm in holding it as I would have been at one time, but you see this is still here for those of you looking for the first time. It's a funny sort of place, really. Pay what's this? Before leaving the car park, your full amount. You have to pay by your free period commences on entering the car park. Oh, you're allowed 2 hours. That's not bad. That's not bad. There's another one of those towers. And I'm just panning round now. Speke Airport, or Liverpool Airport, is not far away from here, so you can see the vapour trails that the planes have left. Although if you listen to some conspiracy theorists, they reckon there is some sinister purpose behind that. But I mean, the science is pretty simple. It's freezing cold air up there. The aircraft engines are emitting some rather hot air. And what happens when hot air meets very cold air? It condenses and maybe eventually freezes. Hence, vapour trail. At least that's what I was taught in science when I was at school. But as I say, this is quite pleasant. And again, Some of the buildings they were knocking down have gone. All these junctions, road junctions, have now been completed. And yes, it is actually quite a pleasant morning to be out for a walk. I woke up at 6:30, looked at the window, and there were people waiting at the bus stop, which quite surprised me because it's a Sunday morning. I wouldn't expect to see buses out that early. Marks and Spencer's food. I do believe those are Welsh cakes there. So maybe a trip to Marks and Spencer's later in the week if we get the chance. Might get us a chance to purchase some Welsh cakes to take home for the family. They are rather nice. You warm them up and have them with butter and possibly jam, though I dare say there are Welsh people here who would say what a sacrilege, but I like them with butter and jam. The car phone warehouse. Right next door to EE and BT, and of course it's closed. We have moved. I don't blame you for moving. Mostyn Champney. Yes, the Mostyns, as I explained 3 years ago, very big landowners around here. The peers of the realm, etc., etc. This we have, of course, the famous little carvings of Alice in Wonderland characters. There's one down. There's the Gorsav railway station. Oh, this is new. I haven't noticed that before. I'm not going to do a 360, but I guess this is all to do with Llandudno's history. The church, the Romans, the sea, the pier. Ah, interesting. There we go. I'm back into the Victorian bit now. Oh yes, the toilets are here, but if you want to spend a penny, how much are you going to have to pay to spend that penny? 50p. But then if the toilets are kept clean and tidy, that is a coin, isn't it? Yes. Unlike the Lake District, where you can only pay by card. And I still say that's ridiculous. 50 pence paid by card, I wouldn't do that. But here I am, 3 years on, and I've already spotted a building that I never saw before. The King's Arms. And that dates back to 1898. If we look up there, how about that? There's a very sweet smell around here. Maisie's chocolate shop is still around the corner, and I intend to pay that a visit. Oh, it looks quite pleasant round here now compared to 3 years ago. It's just the roadworks have all gone, and it looks like more shops are in use. This is probably the last little bit of what you might call Victorian Llandudno, because as you stand here and look around, it doesn't take long before you get to more modern stuff. Now, I'm looking up on the Great Orme, and there is a building up there, and I wonder if that's the building that was owned by the famous boxer. I'm sure it was Rocky Marciano, but I'll have to go back and do my research again.
And it's a good job I did, because it was owned by Randolph Turpin. But the Christian name began with an R.
All very nice, very pleasant. The sun's coming up. Yes. Gwesti Tidno. St. Tidno, of course, being the patron saint of Llandudno. Very nice. And now I think we'll head towards the seafront. Having said that, I've stopped almost immediately because I've discovered something else I missed before. This has got to be, especially by the smell that's coming up, although I suspect that's late night revellers down the steps, this has got to be an entrance to the old Victorian toilets that were built here. You don't see much of that kind of thing about, but it's an interesting survivor that seems to have been adopted as part of these, what they're calling the Northwest Gardens, which are in themselves quite pleasant. Pelargoniums, and a couple of bits of colour hanging on. I would hazard a guess that where that entrance is there would have been where the other staircase was. Yeah, and it's a surprisingly pleasant morning. Has it all blown through early? I've absolutely no idea. We'll find out later. This is one of my favourite places here. Maisie's Chocolate Shop. They really make the most delicious chocolates, which was one of my weaknesses until I had my heart problems, and then the diabetic thing. So, well, I still like chocolate, but I do restrict myself now, and it's more of a treat when I have it. I buy a box of chocolates and I'll have one a day. Once upon a time I'd have bought a box of chocolates and I'd eat it in a day. This is the curious thing, there's lots of these little streets round the back that I've never actually explored. So let's go exploring, because I found a building here that I find quite interesting. It almost has the look of an old fire station, doesn't it? I have no idea whether it is or not, but I think it would be an intelligent guess to say an old fire station, or maybe, probably not lifeboats, but a nice touch of the stained glass in the windows up there, but I ain't going to I'm not going to start zooming in on things, because this is the back end of the hotels and everything. And I like walking around the back end of places. Most other people's videos and all the tourist videos, they take you around the front end. And alright, the back ends can be a bit trashy, but you often find some interesting little things around the back ends. Here is, unfortunately, signs of urban decay, and there's a car coming. But, a lot of the hotels now, they have parking spaces for their coaches, and then you get a nice little bit of brightness here. Some lovely adornments to the door. Tiny cottage. Here's another. There's so many of these buildings that are... What were they? What were they? A garage? More than likely. Do you know, for a tiny little back street, this is a really busy road. I'm not going to turn off the camera this time, but we've got a car coming, and they're going. And, oh, that one has a name label on it. There. Were these years ago fishermen's cottages? Who knows? Punchinello Cottage. And you'll see all these hotels have got the Chatsworth House Hotel. They've all got their back entrances. The shop there selling bubble tea. I've no idea what this bubble tea is, but it seems to be getting all the fashion now. And I've just walked along Bodabon Street, and we're much closer to the Great Orme now. You can see some of the stanchions of the cable cars up there. Now, Tuesday is the day when we've got our free day here, and I'm just wondering, will the weather be fine enough for us to go up there? I don't know. That's an interesting little shop front. I did wonder whether I would find anything different to film for you this time. But, it seems I have. You can hear voices all about. Workers start coming in for their daily grind. Holiday makers up and about. I'm going to go over onto the seafront now, back at the Mo. I'm glad I decided to come out this morning. This might be the only decent morning we get for filming. There's the Great Orme again. They used to mine copper up there years ago. I think there is a part of the copper mine that you can go in and visit these days. I think it's over on that side. The wheel is new on the pier since I was last here. Oh, that rhymes. The sea lapping against the shore, and it's obviously just after 7 in the morning. I like to try and bring you a sunrise, and there is the sunrise. And I'm going to go right the way through all of that. There we are. What is very impressive in this town is that they've got vehicles out street cleaning, people out cleaning, and I found another statue which we've seen before, but he's a bit cleaner this time. I think last time I was here he'd been a bit defaced and dirtied up, but yeah, there's the Mad Hatter. And if you want to know the Welsh for rubbish, hopefully I pronounce it right, Asburiel. Asburiel, whichever way you want to pronounce it. The thing about Welsh is that you have to try and pronounce every single letter in a word. And although I do my very best, I'm not sure I manage it. But anyway, this is one of the nicest promenades you'll find anywhere. And as I said before, for those of you that are new to my videos, I like to look for the quirky, interesting things. And this seat, it goes all the way along. Now, apart from the famous one on Scarborough Railway Station, I don't think I've ever seen a seat that's that long. But, I seem to have walked quite a distance from our hotel compared to what I was like towards the end of my holiday in the Isle of Man. This is I'm really doing rather well. I'm not really out of breath. As I say, the only thing I do suffer a little bit from now is a bit more of the handshake, so I hope it's not going to spoil the film too much for you. It's just nice having a walk along the seafront. Considering it's the last week in September, I would say it's still fairly busy. Oh, I know I wanted to show you the sun setting on the Great Orme, but I'd never seen on the Little Orme. I'd never seen the sun rising on the Great Orme. Look at that. Look how the sun is making those rocks shine up there. This is something I'd never had the chance to see before. Isn't that lovely? There, you see it. That really is lovely. You could just see the shades of light changing as the sun rises now. Oh, that's lovely. And the sun is now comes above the hill, and look, it's casting long shadows on a late September morning. All the white buildings of the hotels glow in the early morning sun. That is really nice. Lovely. And now I'm walking towards the sun. So I'm going to go over towards the water's edge. The cloud that was coming over seems to really be going past us at the moment. I'm mystified as to the weather. This isn't forecast, but has it gone through? In which case we've had no rain. Is it coming? Well, your guess is as good as mine, because the cloud that I saw is all breaking up and going over. So we might yet get a reasonable amount of time The folk round here do not like these pebbles. And to be honest, I don't like them either. It don't look right. It really doesn't. Right. I'll leave you with a final view of the pier. I don't know if I'm going to walk along it this time or not. And what was the Grand Hotel there? I don't know what it's in use for now. It chops and changes. Now there's always this argument about this being the longest pier in Wales. And I suppose it really depends on your definition of a pier. But if you look, it's attached to the land all the way along there. And that, thank you, mister. I do like dogs to come and surprise me by sniffing my legs. I wish some owners would be more responsible, but there you go. And you see, it doesn't actually become a real pier, as I would say, until that bit. So again, it's your interpretation of what is a pier. Anyhow, I think with that I've done my walk for this morning, and it's time to go back and get ready for breakfast. We're on our way to Ynys this morning, the Isle of Anglesey, and hopefully the weather might hold out a bit longer than I thought it would. See you there.